Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, very, very good question.
Yeah, this is a very good question.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
Oh, that's a great question.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question, Zanger.
It's a great question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question. Really good question.
Gosh, this question to me, I hate this question.
That's a loaded question. but okay.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for your support of Indie Agency News. Let's meet an indie agency. We go down to, it's North Carolina. What's the name of the state? It's not, what's the state?
Winston-Salem.
Oh, you're in Winston-Salem. I know that, but the name, because Kentucky's the bluegrass state. What's North Carolina again?
We should know the answer to that.
Neither of us.
Jody and I are both North Carolina translates. I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
All right. Okay. So that explains it. Where are you from?
I grew up in Florida, and Jody's from Connecticut. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm originally from Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts.
Yeah. Oh, Western Mass. Okay. Got it.
Born and raised.
Slightly different cut of that jib in Western Mass.
Yeah, exactly.
Than it is, say, Quincy, Mass. Let's be honest.
Sure.
Well, thank you so much, first of all, for your support of Indie Agency News and our mission. We're super glad to have you. And, I'd love to start. Give us a little bit of a snapshot of the agency, when it started, and how it all got cooking. Who wants to take that potato?
El Presidente can give you our background.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So we were founded about, I think we're going on 14 years ago now. And we were founded by our chief creative officer, Joe Parrish, and our now chairman, Keith Vest. And Joe had worked at the big agencies for a long time and just felt like he wanted to build something that was new and different and more agile and nimble, and really wanted to focus on innovation. And he's an entrepreneur at heart. And so the variable was really born out of the spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation that still very much lives at the core and the heart of who we are.
That's great. And Winston-Salem is really interesting because it's a college town.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to imagine that energy, and also it's probably very helpful in talent, I would say. And we'll talk a little specifically more about talent, but the vibe of Winston-Salem, because of Wake Forest there, very, very interesting. How does that inform? Because, there are agencies in major metropolitan areas like New York, and then you have agencies, and take a look at Boulder, for example. Tons of agencies there. You look at Knoxville with Tombras, and I'm interested in what it feels like being in a town like that.
Yeah. I love Winston-Salem. I came down here because I went to Wake Forest University, very prestigious school, great education, great talent pool coming out of there. But what makes Winston really unique from a talent perspective is Winston-Salem State University, which is an HBCU, so we can get really good diverse talent from them. And then we're home of the North Carolina School of the Arts, which is one of the top schools of the arts right here in our backyard. And so when it comes to more diverse creative talent as well, there's really some incredible resources when it comes to the schools in this area. So I think it's really underrated for the level of talent that we can pull right from our backyard.
Yeah, it's Richmond's somewhat similar with Virginia State, and you have several institutions there. But yeah, it's great to be able to tap into talent, because the world is beautifully evolving, and it's great to get. I'm going to use a corporate speak word here. Real authentic. There's my one corporate speak. I may have more than one corporate speak word during this thing, but let's get to this. What would you say, and Courtney, let's ask you this. What would you say? What would you say the agency is best known for? And then also, what would you say the top 3 core strengths of the agency are? Because every agency has a list of things that they're of capabilities, but there are certain things that rise to the top. So what the agency is best known for, and top 3 core strengths.
Yeah, I think the two go part and parcel. For us, we have really doubled down on our strategic capabilities as well as our kind of platform creative work, in addition to, as Jody was mentioning earlier, our innovation work. And so that really kind of runs the gamut from product innovation to business model innovation. The company, as Jody said, was really founded by a set of entrepreneurs who have really unique backgrounds. And so that really has always been a part of how we help serve our clients. And so I think if you were to ask our current client base what they think about when they think of the variable, they would probably say two things. One, our ability to translate business needs really effectively and ensure that creative and strategy ultimately moves the business needle, and then bring more than just advertising ideas to the table is the second. We love being a yes and agency, for lack of a better term. So let's answer the ask, but think a little bit more about how we could help move the needle outside of just advertising.
I love a good improv reference. Yes, and. I want to play this though, because I think it contextualizes a couple of things, but this campaign, I'm just going to play it. Let me just play this case study because I think it's important for people to understand, where you're coming from.
We love working with companies that understand the value of being different. So obviously, we love companies like Fuck Cancer. In a space of syrupy empathy and platitudes, we didn't want to play it safe for our melanoma screening campaign. Skin cancer is the most common type of cancer in the US, but when found early, melanoma has a 98% survival rate. So awareness was the charge. The idea came from a writer on the team who noticed a funny-looking mole on our partner while they were fooling around. He got it checked, and it was cancerous. From there, the insight became obvious. The best way to do a partner-aided skin scan is when you already have your clothes off. Enter serious foreplay.
Ah, one of my favorite positions. Woman on top.
Oh, yes.
Love her health. That is a huge mole.
Serious foreplay told people that the foreplay they loved could save the ones they loved. It urged partners to check each other once a month to look for changes in their skin. Videos were created and run with risque media placements. We used social media to amplify the message, and Kamo Sutra cards were available for free on the website. Traffic nearly tripled traffic to other pages on the Fuck Cancer site. Video ads outperformed industry benchmarks by approximately 800%. And on social media, the campaign reached over 1 million users and garnered over 400 clicks in a few weeks. But most importantly, during the development of the campaign, an art director was made aware of a mole in a very private region that was excised and biopsy. And that's all the proof we need to know that this campaign works and will save lives randomly.
So you said strategy, and
It's pretty serious work, huh?
well, no, it is though. If you think about it.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah,
No,
sure.
it honestly is. And what did the client? I mean, obviously, you're talking about an organization that it's Fuck Cancer. So
Yeah.
But I'm curious because there are instances where organizations like this, Donate Life is another good example of that.
Yep.
Where they're willing to go out there. I'm curious what that conversation was like when you pitched the idea.
Yeah, it's interesting. I remember being on one of the very first calls with their CEO, and anytime you bring up sex on a new business call, it's always going to at least be interesting. You don't know where you're going to end up, but it'll at least be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of talked them through, really started with the strategy. We didn't have any spec creative to share. We didn't have anything visual yet. We really said, hey, there's this story that has made us really passionate about this topic, and here's how we think we could address it. What are your thoughts? And honestly, there was really not any pushback. The biggest challenge for us was finding the right time and place to launch the work. But they were down from the very beginning, which was exciting and unusual. Clients oftentimes try and kind of polish the risk out of work.
Right.
And that was not the case here.
No. And you know, the thing about this is it points to, and I don't want to generalize, but I'm going to. Being independent allows a little bit more, let's say, again, corporate speaky and often bandied about without a thought is bravery. So, Jody, why is being indie so important?
Exactly what you said. Being an indie means far less bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is what's killing innovation in companies. I think most successful companies over the next decade, they're going to do it. They're going to differentiate through innovation, and innovation doesn't just mean product innovation. You know, that is one of our core capabilities, but you can innovate an entire category with that bold, creative idea, right? Just look at Serious Foreplay or look at Liquid Death. That level of innovative thinking really requires an agency partner with a bureaucratic, like free environment that can show up in those daring, those resilient, those more inventive ways. And nobody's going to do that better than an indie.
No, that's very, very true. Courtney, what are some other aspects of being independent that you think are really important, and specifically for clients?
Yeah, I think a couple things. One, the spirit of experimentation. We really try and inculcate a culture of experimentation and trying new things. Ultimately, one thing that we are deeply sympathetic to our CMO partners in is, you know, a lot of times they're in a vulnerable spot at the boardroom table, right? They oftentimes are seen as a cost center. And as an indie, we have the ability to work without fear, for lack of a better term. We have the ability to be brave, bring them interesting ideas, and do so in a way that feels like true partnership without having to be worried about what a holding company has to say about it, which is really exciting and freeing. It makes it, I think it ultimately produces the best work.
Jody, did Courtney just say inculcate?
She did, yeah. I feel like we need a buzzer.
Using one of them there fancy Winston-Salem words.
Well, Doug, you've had like 3 corporate speak turns already. I wanted to throw in a big word for you.
No, that's a Scrabble word.
That's a different level altogether, Courtney. Although I feel like I need a buzzer for both of you, just like we get to corporate jargony.
I don't even remember what inculcate means. My goodness, geez. Are you sure you're not British? Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the main reason that brands should work with you. I mean, we've obviously covered a couple of things, but if you had to really knock it down into one statement and support that statement, what's the main reason a brand should work with The Variable?
Yeah, I think the reason to come work with us is, I'll give you kind of the 3 points that I tell clients when we're talking to them and they're trying to figure out if we're the right fit. The first is, if you're looking for an agency that has an opinion and is going to help you make decisions. So if you're looking for somebody to just execute, you can probably find a less expensive, quieter team to do that. And so if you're looking for a partner to help you make decisions, that's us. The second thing I would say is if you're looking for an agency that is really, really skilled at helping you kind of extend that growth phase of your business. We do a lot of work with brands who have seen tremendous success and are looking for thoughtful and creative ways to extend their growth curve. We're a great partner for you. And then I think finally, if you want to work with cool people, we have a really unique mix of talent on the team. We've got toy makers, wine distributors. We have a cattle rancher on the team. And so rarely will you have a weekly status call that is boring with The Variable.
Wait, did she say cattle rancher?
Yes,
she did.
It's working cattle ranch
in North Carolina.
North Carolina. Mm-hmm. We love entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A cattle rancher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, you'll join a Zoom with her sometimes, and like you'll just see one kind of go through the background.
That or the cattle dog Hank.
Yep.
Oh, what kind of dog is it?
He's a little mutt. I'll have to send you. They have a social channel that they run for the ranch. I'll have to send it to you. There's lots of Hank the cattle dog on there.
I am not often. I mean, aside from inculcate, I'm not often bereft of words. There you go. There's a nice one for you.
That was a big one too.
Yeah, that was a big, yeah, I know. Ding, ding, ding. But you did touch on talent. And Jody, I'd like to get this one over to you. Why should talent be putting the agency on their list?
Well, so what I like to tell people is if you really want to work somewhere that's super innovative, like come over here. Like we're constantly trying to reinvent the agency model to make it better. We're trying to find new ways of working. We are trying to build the most fun, creative, diverse place to work while still delivering great work for clients. But yeah, we just have this entrepreneurial and innovative spirit that I think goes a layer above just advertising. And so to Courtney's point, it's like, yeah, we can deliver incredible advertising campaigns, but we can take it one step further and think about product innovation for companies. And so there's this added layer to our team that we have these incredibly smart people who come from agency backgrounds, but we have folks from entrepreneurial backgrounds as well, from other industries. We try to really diversify the mindset across the team to really focus on ideas that even just go beyond a creative idea. We believe creativity is so much bigger. And so, yeah, it's that innovative spirit that I think makes us a little bit different.
Yeah. Jody, Courtney and I have thrown out lots of words here. Do you have a favorite, just a dime store word that you want to throw? I mean, you're from Massachusetts. It's a very
Massachusetts word, like wicked.
Yeah. Mass people like reading books.
Oh man.
What's your favorite word what's the favorite word where you say it and then you're like, I can't believe I just said that?
Oh man. Like onus. Like if I'm in a meeting,
onus is a good one.
I'm like, I say it and I almost like in my mouth, like as
that was a really excellent choice, Jody. I kind of was like, thank God Jody got that question. I don't know how I'd answer that, but that's a really good one.
That's the one where like, as I hear it come out of my mouth, I'm just like, who am I? What am I?
Right. Well, somebody's from Cambridge, Mass. Then
I was gonna say Harvard girl over here.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, wicked smart, going to Harvard at MIT. All right, this last question is a bit of a thought exercise, and I do enjoy this one. Whether or not they are an existing client or not proper grammar. Whether they are an existing client or not, which CMO or marketer would you like to say hello to? I'm gonna make Courtney go first.
Yeah, I think I would say probably the CMO of Elf Beauty, who we've the So Many Dicks campaign that has been running recently. I think, you're obviously talking to two female agency leaders here today. Jody's a member of our board. I worked in private equity and for big tech companies prior to working here. And so the So Many Dicks issue is something that both of us are super familiar with. And I think Elf has done an amazing job of bringing to light a real issue in a way that is witty, but smart and compelling, and is getting people talking.
Yeah, no doubt. Jody, your choice.
I would say the CMO at Athletic Brewing Company, Andrew Katz. So Courtney heard him speak recently up in New York at the Brand Innovators Summit, and we sent him a package. We thought everything he talked about was really cool. We love what they're doing over there, and so we'd send a shout out to him and say, hey, did you get the box we sent you?
What did you put in the box?
We actually put, so the variable, true to our innovative spirit, we actually built, launched, and sold our own Better For You energy drink company about 4 or 5 years ago called Sunshine. And it really kind of lives into the same values that Athletic Brewing is looking to bring to life. It's about how do you have a social moment around something other than alcohol. And so as Andrew was talking about their mission and their focus, and just how scrappy the team is too, there seemed to be some real values alignment. And so I sent him a case of Sunshine. Hope you like it.
I mean,
give us a call.
I'll take a case of Sunshine.
I'll send you a case of Sunshine too.
You got one coming, Doug.
Okay.
Consider it done.
All right. I like that. I like that. Well, I want to thank you both for joining us. I got to get down there. So I have been in Kentucky. So I was in Louisville. I was in Lexington. I was in Cincinnati. So I'm thinking we do Winston-Salem, maybe Charlotte, maybe go down to Atlanta, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Come visit.
But yeah, I'm going to come down.
We would love that.
Let's have a little party. Let's have some fun. I love it. Well, Courtney and Jody, thank you so much for joining us. And really awesome. And the Variable is one of those agencies where people go, oh yeah, I think I know them. But the good news is now people, especially marketers and CMOs, know you even better now. So thank you so much for joining us. Best wishes for continued success and keep on keeping on.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
Thank you.